Good wishes, dear students. In today's class, we will learn in detail about the structure of diborane of the molecular formula B2H6. Before we move into explain or to learn all about the structure of diborane, I would like to give you in short about the structure of ethane molecule. So let's take ethane molecule. What's the formula for ethane molecule? C2H6. Now there is a lot of similarity between them. B2 here and C2 here. Hydrogen 6 times here, hydrogen 6 times here. So if you understand the structure of ethane molecule, you will be able to understand better the structure of diborane. So now let's start with the hybridization. Now carbon, atomic number of carbon is 6. So the configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. In the ground state here, configuration will be 2s2, 2p2 over. In the excited state configuration, we've got here. So I've got it. Now if you look for the 2 electrons from the p orbital comes in as it is here. There are 2 electrons in a s orbital. One remains in the s orbital, the other gets shifted to the empty p orbital. So thus giving rise to sp3 hybridization. So in ethane molecule, sp3 hybridization takes place. Electronic configuration of carbon is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. In the ground state, 2s2, 2p2, number of valence electron alone we consider. In the excited state, p orbital electron remains in them as it is, but an electron from the s orbital, completely filled s orbital, moves into the empty p orbital, thus giving way for 4 half-filled s orbitals, meaning sp3 hybridization takes place. Let's see in terms of structures here. What type of structure is found? How many carbons we have taken? 2 carbon. So 2 carbon I have taken here. How many hydrogen? 6 hydrogen. Meaning 1 carbon is shared with us, bonded with the 3 hydrogen. So I have taken it here 1, 2, 3. So 1 carbon is bonded to 3 hydrogen. Now similarly, this is for 1 carbon I have plotted. Similarly for another carbon, it's bonded to another 3 hydrogen. So I've got a hydrogen and hydrogen and hydrogen here. Let's go back to the hybridization. Now if you see here, 1 carbon is bonded to 3 hydrogen. So the half-filled empty orbital, half-filled orbitals are shared by bonded with a hydrogen. So 1 hydrogen here, 1 hydrogen here and 1 hydrogen here. If you see here, I don't have any hydrogen electron here. So the single electron comes with a carbon here. So meaning carbon has got a 4 orbitals, half-filled orbitals. Out of the 4, 3 are bonded to hydrogen and 1 is left without bonding. Similarly for this hydrogen, the same concept. Out of the 4, 3 are bonded with a hydrogen and 1 electron remains single. Now these two form a new type of bond between a carbon and carbon bond is formed here. So hybridization you understand, how the structure is formed you understand. Now let's see in terms of how many electrons are being involved here. So 1 carbon is giving me 4 valence electron. 1 carbon gives me 4 valence electron. How many carbons we have taken? 2 carbon. So 2 carbon will give me 8 valence electron. Now 1 hydrogen gives us 1 electron. How many hydrogens we've got here? 6 hydrogen. So 6 hydrogen will give me 6 electron. Together making up to 14 electrons involved in. What type of bond formed here? Because sharing of electron takes place, covalent bond is being formed here. So how many bonds are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 covalent bonds are being formed here. Now with this, we'll stop with the ethane molecule. We'll come back to the diborane molecule simultaneously in the same way. Now if I take for a diborane, what's the molecular formula? B2H6. First we will plot the hybridization orbital for a boron. Now atomic number of boron is 5. So in the what will be the electronic configuration? 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. In the ground state configuration for a boron is now 2s and 2p1. So here we will have a 2 electrons. 2s orbital will have a 2 electron. P orbital will have only 1 electron. Now in the excited state, what happens? This 1 electron will come as it is. From the 2s2, 2 electron, 1 will remain, the other one will move to one of the empty p orbital. But the proof here is, here again, diborane also gives us sp3 hybridization. You have a proof here how ethane molecule, carbon makes a way for sp3 hybridization. But in case of boron, you have only 3 half-filled orbital, 1 empty orbital. But the proof is that they do form a sp3 hybridization. Now let's come back to the structure. We'll stop here. We'll come back to the structure like this case. So when I take the structure of diborane, how many borons we've got? 2 boron. So boron here and a boron here. Now in this case, just like ethane, when we compare, how many hydrogens are there? 6 hydrogen. So how it should be? 1 boron is bonded to 3 hydrogen. So let me combine, bonded to 3 hydrogen. So hydrogen here, hydrogen and hydrogen, and hydrogen, I have marked the thing. So according to our normal understanding, 1 boron is bonded to 3 hydrogen is over. Now we have a question mark out. What is being, we are saying a molecule is being formed, there should be a bond between them. We have no proof how the 6 electrons are balanced, and 6 hydrogen atoms are shown, 2 boron atoms are shown, but in this case we had a 1 unpaired electron from each carbon forming a new type of bond. In this case we have no proof. So this is not the right structure. Now as we told you, to form a covalent bond, 14 electrons are required. To form a 7 covalent bonds, 14 electrons. Now let's check for the number of electrons here. 1 boron gives us how many valence electron? 3 valence electron. So 2 boron, when you say how many electrons will be there? 6 electrons will be there. Now 1 hydrogen gives us 1 electron. So when we take 6 hydrogen, how many electrons will be there? 6 electrons will be there. So together they make up to 12 electrons. To form a 7 covalent bonds, if there is a bond, if there should be a bond in between. But for the bond formation, how many electrons you require? 14 electrons. But how many electrons we have here? Only 12 electrons. So this structure is not a proper explanation of a diborane. Now, what is the right structure? The right structure is boron 1, 2, 3, 4 with a 4 terminal hydrogen bonds. Now, out of the 6 hydrogen, 4 are being shown here. The remaining 2 hydrogen comes in between the boron atoms. So, if we count for the number of hydrogen atoms, 1, B2H6 we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the correct structure of boron diborane, and this is not the structure. But you need an explanation based on the configuration how this structure is being formed. So let's go. This is the correct structure of diborane. Let's understand the formation of it based on the hybridization of boron. Now as we know, atomic number of boron is 5. So the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. General state configuration is 2s2, 2p1. In the excited state, 1 electron from the s orbital gets excited to the empty p orbital. So 1 electron from the p orbital comes in as it is. out of the 2s2 electron, a completely filled 2s orbital, one electron remains here, the other electron gets shifted to the empty p orbital, thus making a way for sp3 hybridization. The proof here is only 3 half-filled electron orbitals are there. So it should be sp2, but we are saying sp3 hybridization takes place including the empty p orbital. Let's see how does it takes place based on the loop diagram. Now if you see here, one boron makes the availability of 4 orbital. So let's draw the diagram. Boron, it has 4 orbitals. This one I'm just drawing a little longer one to show you the overlapping of orbital. So this is for one boron. How many borons we have? 2 boron. So one boron makes the availability of 4 orbital. So similarly another boron too. So this is how the diagram looks like. So one orbital makes the availability of one boron makes the availability of 4 orbital. Similarly, another boron. Now let's move into fill the number of electrons in it. Now out of the 4, how many are having the half-filled orbital? 3. So one boron has the 3 half-filled orbital and 1 empty orbital. Let's fill in from the terminal. So 1 electron here and 1 electron here. So out of the 3, 2 I have filled in. The one more I'm taking it here. For this boron I'm filling in, and the empty orbital I mark it with the star. Now let's move into fill in for the other orbital, other boron. One more boron also will have the 3 half-filled orbital and 1 empty orbital. As usual, we'll start with the terminal 1 here, 1 electron here. So 2 are over. Please understand the point what I'm going to tell you here. One boron has a 3 half-filled orbital, 1 empty orbital. So in case of this boron, I had taken the 2 are over at the terminal, 1 I have taken above the plane, below the plane I have left the empty orbital. Now when we come for this boron, leave the half-filled orbital down. Take the empty orbital above the plane. So I hope you understand the point here. I have just filled in the electrons of boron. 3 half-filled orbitals are there. 2 at the terminal and 1 above the plane. Similarly for another boron, 3 half-filled electrons and 1 empty above the plane. So above the plane you have a 1 electron of boron and 1 empty orbital. Below the plane you have 1 half-filled orbital of boron and 1 empty orbital. Now next we are moving on to each boron, the boron is bonded at the terminal to hydrogen. Now how are they bonded? Each hydrogen provides us 1 electron. So it's bonded to hydrogen here and bonded to hydrogen, bonded to hydrogen and bonded to hydrogen. Now hydrogen has got how many electrons? Unpaired electrons, s orbital, 1 electron. So 1 electron here, 1 electron here. So boron is bonded to 2 of the terminal hydrogen. We have made the thing. So it stands for the s orbital of hydrogen. So this is for one boron. Similarly the other one too. This is for hydrogen here. So 1 electron from the s orbital of hydrogen, 1 electron from the s orbital of hydrogen. So now you understand clearly how the terminal hydrogen bonds are being formed. One boron is bonded to 2 of the terminal hydrogen atom. Similarly, this boron is bonded to 2 of the terminal hydrogen atom. Now out of the 6 hydrogen atom, 1, 2, 3, 4 terminal ones you understand. Now we are left over with the 2 bridged hydrogen. Now we need to see how are they bonded with. Please be with me to understand the point here. One boron, half-filled orbital of one boron combines with the empty orbital of another boron and they are overlapped with the hydrogen 1s orbital of this hydrogens here. So it provides us an electron forming a bond in between. Now similarly, so this hydrogen we have proved in. Come back for the lower one. One empty orbital of this boron half-filled orbital of another boron are overlapped using the hydrogen 1s electron of hydrogen. So thus the bridge is formed between two boron, one bridge above the plane, the other bridge below the plane here. Now one more point you need to understand. We need to write down how many bonds are here as we wrote here. Now together 7 covalent bonds. We need to write in this diagram structure of diborane how many bonds are there. If you look for one BH bond. So 1, 2. So let me write the number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So together how many BH bonds we've got here? And let me write here. So we have 8 BH bonds. 8 BH bonds we've got. Now point number 2. Now BH2 is 1 unit. BH2 is another unit. So these 2 units of BH2 are linked by the hydrogen atom. So point number 2, 2 BH2. You understand here BH2 and BH2. These two are 2 different units linked by the hydrogen. 2 BH2 units are linked by hydrogen atom. Linked by hydrogen atoms. Done. The next one, now you need to know how many terminal bonds are there. How many terminal hydrogen we've got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll write it 4 BH terminal bonds are available. These 4 BH terminal bonds are also called as a two-centered 2-electron bonds. What's the meaning of two-centered 2-electron bonds? If you watch here, boron is 1 center. We're talking about the terminal bonds of 1, 2, 3, 4. So boron is 1 center, hydrogen is 1 center. How many electrons are shared between them? 1 from hydrogen, 1 from boron. So we call them as a two-centered 2-electron bonds. So another name for 4 BH terminal bonds. Another name for terminal bonds are two-centered 2-electron bonds. So the terminal bonds we have explained. Let's move in for the bridge formation here. Now if you see the bridged bonds, this is called as a terminal bonds. Now how many bridged forms we've got here? 2 bridged forms we've got. So the other, let me take, okay. The bridged bonds are BHB bonds are called as a 3-centered 2-electron bonds. How do we get a 3-centered here? Boron is 1 center, hydrogen is another center, and this boron. So above the plane, boron, hydrogen, boron. So how many centers we have? A 3 center. And how many electrons are shared? Leave about this empty orbital which I have marked with the star. So 2 electrons are there. 1 from hydrogen, 1 from filled orbital of boron here. So 3-centered 2-electron bonds. Now let's move in with the how to write down the points in terms of exam. Now as we told you, 2 BH2 units are linked by 2 bridged hydrogen. Just now what we have told you here. So this is 1 unit of BH2. This is another unit of BH2. They are linked by the hydrogen atom. Point number 1 is over. How many BH bonds are there? 8 BH bonds that I have written for you. I've even numbered it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 BH2 bonds are there. Now, it has 12 valence electrons but does not sufficient to form a covalent bonds. Now I have shown you how do we get a 12 valence electron. To form a 7 bonds we should have a 7 covalent bonds. We should have a 14 electrons, but we are having only 2, and that's how the structure differs from the ethane molecule. We have seen it. Point number 4. 4 terminal pH bonds are covalent bonds known as a two-centered 2-electron bond. I just explained to you how do we get the two-centered 2-electron, the terminal bonds. So hydrogen is 1 center, boron is 1 center, made up of 2 electrons here. The next point here is the bridged center 2 BHP bonds are called as a 3-centered 2-electron. Now how do we get the 3-centered? Boron BHPB. So this is called as a 3-centered. And how many electrons are there? 2 electrons are there along with the 1 empty boron orbital. The next point here is In diboron, boron is sp3 hybridized. You understand how sp3 hybridized is taken place here. The next point, in boron, 3 of the 4 sp3 hybridized orbitals contain single electron and the 4th orbital is empty. That if you look at the diagram, you will understand better. It makes the availability of 4 orbital. Out of it, 3 are half filled and 1 is an empty one. If you understand the concept with the diagram, this writing is not a big matter for you all. The next one, 2 of the half filled hybrid orbitals of each boron overlaps with the hydrogens to form a 4 terminal 2 center 2 electron bonds. You understand? Out of the 3, the first 2 are bonded to the hydrogen at the terminal. So one boron with the 2 hydrogen, another boron with the 2 hydrogen over. The next point, leaving 1 empty and 1 half-filled hybridized orbitals of boron. You understand how do we get 1 electron above the plane, 1 half-filled electron above the plane, on empty orbital below the plane, and similarly for the other boron too. So that's the point we have written, 1 empty and 1 half-filled. You understand from here how do we get it. And the last point, therefore, the 3-centered 2 electron, we are talking about the bridge here. So 3-centered 2 electron bonds formation overlaps half-filled hybridized orbital of one boron with the empty orbital of another boron. Purposely I have used the different color for you. This boron shares the half-filled orbital and this boron shares the empty orbital. Vice versa below the plane, this boron shares the half-filled orbital, this boron shares the empty orbital. They together overlap with the half-filled 1s orbital of hydrogen. Thank you.